So what were you saying about the mulled wine and Rosario?
She loved mulled wine.
Where is she now?
She's gone to her parents, well, her father, who's nearly my age, and he's in Wiltshire, but he's had a cataract operation, so he can't really. So it's quite a dismal.
Cheers.
Oh, lovely. Isn't that the most beautiful colour? Look.
Mm.
Oh, my God, it's like beautiful red. Well, to you, my friends.
And to you, good health, Alice.
Good health.
And may you have lots of happiness during 2025.
Oh, it's interesting.
And lots of friends visiting you, continuing.
Well,
And you're enjoying that, are you? It's called gingerbread mulled wine.
Oh, I thought it had an unusual flavour.
A heart-warming mulled wine with rich...
warming.
Heart. Did you say fart? Heart-warming mulled wine with rich and spicy flavours of ginger and cinnamon.
How extraordinary. So what with your cake and the wine, everything is tainted with your mint.
Would you like to show the camera the cake?
Yeah. Let's show the cake to the camera, or the camera to the cake.
Here we are.
Now here is Peter's lovely cake. Look, you can see the bits in it.
Mary Berry recipe.
Well,
and it's called a mincemeat cake. So let's see the top. That's it.
And I remember John telling me about it, and he said it was very nice, and I was very rude to you, and I said I hate mincemeat, which I do, but when it's in a cake, it's all right.
Well, it's just
I can't bear mince pies. I cannot bear mince pies.
I wonder why.
Paste.
Because it's only fruit. You like fruit generally, though, dried fruit.
Well, I can't really eat it. Well, I haven't got any back teeth.
But you used to like Dundee cake, for example.
What's Dundee cake? Has that got...
That's a fruit cake with nuts.
Oh, was it?
Mm. What about Christmas cake? Would you like Christmas cake generally?
Well, my friend Sarah brought round a huge great bit of... Well, it wasn't a huge great cake, which she shared with people, little bits, and that was a Christmas cake, and it was just full... It was practically wet. It had so much fruit, so much rum and things in it.
Alice, you look like you're ready to take a bite out of that.
I think you're absolutely right. So which do I drink? I must think hard. Right, I'm going to drink this.
And leave that down.
Let's take the cake away. No.
Don't deprive me of the cake.
Would you like me to cut you a piece?
No.
No.
Should I have it?
It does have an extraordinary taste though, doesn't it?
Pleasant or unpleasant?
Let's see, the verdict is open, but it's extraordinary.
I haven't had any.
Just try a little bit.
Try a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a glass there. Is that a glass?
Yeah, that's a glass.
Give that a rinse. Let's have a sniff of it first. Oh, yeah.
I mean, isn't it? It tastes actually... Well, I'll wait till you've had it. I'll be quite rude about it.
There comes time at a certain age where you don't hold back with, so I've been told.
Well, it reminds me of lavatory cleaner. Isn't it?
This is on tape.
See what you feel.
The smell is...
Well, taste it. I think if you were trying...
I'll smell it neat.
It does smell like a detergent, you're right.
It does. A detergent, that's a kind of way.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I see you have some hyacinths. Now, who did they come from?
That came from Sue Bittleston.
You're going to hold those to the camera and take the cake away.
This is this beautiful picture. Isn't that lovely? Look, do you see?
The angel. Is that a dark angel?
Okay.
Well, no, that one is... I just think that's a good combination of strength and gentleness.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So this is Alice, Christmas 2024, 29th of December, reminiscing and talking about the delights of Christmas.
That's right. And I tell you that my granddaughter, she and Charles, little Ava, in Camden Market, they found me some things called, and I may have just told you, they're called Bethlehem bells. Did I?
No.
And Bethlehem bells, and I got one little bell somewhere or other.
In the middle here?
Yeah, that's hung up there, that one. That's a Bethlehem bell.
Show the camera.
There we are. Look, Bethlehem bell. Now this was made in Israel, and it was blown, the glass was blown by a Muslim and painted by a Christian and shipped by Israel. So there we are. It's good, isn't it?
Let it ring.
So I'll call my servants.
And that was bought from Campton.
Well, I think that's where they found it. It was in a box. You know, obviously they didn't get it from Israel, but... So what do you think of this?
It's not great. I've tasted nicer mulled wine in my
I think,
day.
yeah, it's slightly, well, we won't say, but acquired taste.
Yeah,
Maybe if I put
acquired,
some
yeah.
curry powder into it.
So, reminisce a little bit about a Christmas, a childhood Christmas.
Oh, my childhood Christmas.
What?
Well-
How was it celebrated with your parents and siblings?
Well, when I was little, it was during the war.
Say what, sort of 9, 10 years?
No, much before that.
Or when you were 5?
Yeah, I remember I was living with my grandmother in Hove, and my father was away he was stationed in Beirut. Excuse my gurglings, my rumblings of abdominal is something phenomenal, but I can't help it. Anyhow, and I remember my mother, we were Catholics, so we had a very beautiful, very simple crib that my mother had made out of sort of paper and things like that. And I remember going down at Christmas, going downstairs, and I remember my mother crying.
Because father wasn't around.
Well, he was away. He was in signals and intelligence, so he didn't do any sort of frontline shooting or anything. But I remember feeling sorry for her. And then she bought, I had a brother who was 3.5 years younger than me, called Ian, and my mother had bought him a rather clever sort of toy doll about that big, and it had kind of wobbly legs, so you could put him on a big fat legs, you could put him on a slope and he sort of waddled, a bit like I'm doing now. But
a mechanical doll?
no, it wasn't mechanical, it was just the way that his legs were. But my favourite, one of my grandchildren asked me to write a thing about my favourite toy, and I can remember it was about that big, and it was a little doll's pram made of sort of Bakelite stuff, and it had the hood that went up and down, and it was most beautiful, absolutely lovely, nothing mechanical about it or anything, and I adored that. I can remember the colour of it when the light was on it. It was lovely. And I always used to we used to do sealing wax. Have you ever used sealing wax?
No. Oh, sealing, S-E-A-L, yes.
Sealing wax.
Yes.
So you lit the end of this thing and let it blob down.
Onto the envelope.
And then if you had a sort of signet ring or some sort of, I've got a sort of stamp of my father's which has got the Campbell crest on it. And that was magical. So I remember doing that. And then I lived with my granny, and we lived with granny.
Excuse me, why did you live with your grandmother, not with your mother?
Well, my mother was there as well.
Oh, I see. And did you have any other siblings? Just Ian, is it?
Ian. And then after the war, I had 2 other brothers came along, Julian and Jamie.
So your father was home at times?
He did come home after the war, yes, and he must have come home when Ian was born, because Ian was, and I have got a nice picture of me with him. But I had quite a difficult relationship with my father, I think, because, you know, I mean, he didn't know what to do with a little girl.
So you were the firstborn?
I was the firstborn, yeah. So, yeah, and then my other brothers, you see, had a good relationship with my father. Because they grew up
He was
together.
around, yes.
You know, but, so anyhow, no, I was a bit of loggerheads with my father.
Another Christmassy event
Um,
when you were young?
much later on, when we lived in Lewes in Sussex, you know Lewes?
Mm. Glyndebourne way.
Yeah, that way, yeah. Used to go to Glyndebourne. We had lodgers from Glyndebourne used to come along.
I know Brighton, but not
Yeah, down towards
Yeah.
know any
Brighton.
Yeah.
further over.
So, but, yeah, my father used to, and we lived in where Anna Cleeve's house was.
Yes.
You know, she was one of Henry VIII's wives, wasn't she?
Mm.
Oh, and, sorry, it's a bit of, what with lavatory cleaner.
The mix.
Mixture, but
Yeah.
cheers, lovely.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Nigel Kennedy used to come along, Mrs. Stoner, very sweet. Where's the book? I've got a picture of her somewhere or other.
This is a Christmas one
Oh,
year.
Christmas, sorry, we're talking about Christmas.
Mm.
So my father, yes, at Christmas time, this was well after the war, there were some marvellous elderly spinsters who lived in our road and so my father dressed up as Father Christmas, and they put some presents for these people. They all had double barrel names, Miss so and so, Miss so and so, and my father used to go down the road, and one of my brothers was a sort of used to open the door and said, "This really is my father, but thinks he's Father Christmas." And then they'd knock on the door and he'd give them a present, a little present. It was very nice. It was a kind of simple thing to do.
And you were still living with your grandmother at that time? In Lewes?
Not at that time. When the war stopped, we bought a house quite nearby in Tivoli Crescent in Brighton, just on the other side of the road. And Granny was there, so it was very much in this, and you had wonderful views right across to the sea, and you could almost see France, I think.
So keeping to Christmas, did you have a Christmas tree? Did you send cards? Did you have lots of gifts?
Oh yes, used to make
Did you have a
cards.
stocking at the bottom of your bed?
Yeah,
and all that?
stocking at the bottom of the bed. I used to make presents. I used to make cards, which I still do, but I haven't this year. Running out of steam.
And a Christmas tree. Your
We
mother
used-
and father dressed it.
I know when we always started. Christmas began at on Christmas Eve with the carol service from King's.
With the lessons.
The lessons. We had that, and my father we had some lovely Christmassy baubles, I think, very old. Sometimes they made of very fine glass, but most of them got, destroyed by now. But that was lovely, so my father did that. And then I had two grannies who lived in Sussex, so they used to come to lunch, and then we had various great cousins and great aunts and things, because Victorians had big families, didn't they? Although my father was an only child, because our father, as I told you, got killed in a very strange way, and my father just had one sister, so it's a very small immediate family. But then as time went on, they got very big families. I expect yours did, didn't they? People had, and I had loads of great aunts and things like that. Do you want to play that?
Well, I'm
So
curious.
Go on,
is that
that's
the end
away.
of the Christmas reminiscing?
As far as I can remember, and then we used to do the Charleston, my brother Ian and I did the Charleston, and I found the sweetest thing that came through on something. I'll try and show it to you on one of those. What she called the woman who sends you. They send out cards. You know, online. People often do it.
Yeah, online. Yeah.
What are they?
E-cards. They're known as e-cards.
Yeah, but it's also. It's something, this woman has these cards, and I can't remember what it's called.
Did I send you a card? Don't you
No,
remember?
I don't think so,
No,
but
no.
wait a minute. Sophie Scarlett.
Don't have a list that you use, do you, every year? I have.
I have a list.
A list of people.
Yeah, and I'm
send
going
it.
to write to all the people who sent me cards. My friend Chris Pointermere's put those up there, which is good. So they just sort of appear. And this, my cousin Mad Mary. Look at these. Look at this. When am I going to wear those? They're rather sweet, aren't
Yeah.
She's a bit potty, is she?
they? Oh, totally potty. She got married for the second time. Her first husband died. She got married for the second time on her 83rd birthday. And
Yes,
she
Billy.
wears really high shoes. Carry on,
What,
bash away.
what is this? What
Is that lovely?
instrument is that?
What?
I'd love to have one of
What
those.
is that? What's it called?
What is it called? It's a hang drum.
Hand a drum.
Hang drum,
Hang-
isn't it? Do you like it?
Yeah.
They cost about £7 now. No, more than that.
70, more like.
No, not really. You can get them on eBay. But they make it's lovely, and you can make huge ones now. Lovely out in the open, you know.
Oh, right.
Yes, and you just bash away, and
No, that's enough now, battery. Peter wanted
you
to
have a
go.
go, Peter.
So did the numbers mean anything to you?
Oh yes, these are the numbers of the scale.
Scale. Oh, right.
8 notes in the scale.
8 notes.
But do they
And-
actually work?
Yes, this is the first note of the scale. That's the third note. That's the fifth note. And what we want now is the octave higher. So maybe this one. There's this. 1, 3, 5, 1. And then if
There we are. Yeah.
you could do number 6. Where's the lower one? And so on. Oh, there's number 5.
Hmm.
There's number 5.
Octave, is it? But the dot means something.
Yes, it's the octave higher. Maybe that's 6. Number 7. And number 8. Can't see number 8.
8 doesn't seem to be there.
No,
No.
they don't have the octave higher.
Ah,
And, oh, there's it.
that's 3.
That's 3.
Yeah.
Ah,
No 8 on that. It's
I think
curious.
it's a lovely sound, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
My friend
Beautiful.
Rosa took it down to Sussex with her for about 3 months once. She loved it, and she's really good at it.
so how come you have it? How come?
Did you
Did you order it? Did you buy it?
I bought it online, I think, And but it's nice to have some sound. I mean, I have got a piano out in the garden room, which is pretty wet at the moment. The garden room is a bit not habitable.
But how did it happen? Did you think one day, I would like to buy one? Something inspired you?
A long time ago, I just thought it's nice having, because, you know, I've always had the piano around, and Nigel Kennedy's granny and all that sort of thing. My granny played the piano rather nicely as well. And, yeah.
And at home, when you were a mother with your children?
Oh, they all played something.
Christmas with your children, your boys?
Oh, our boys, yes. I remember when we...
Memorable one?
Yeah, I mean, Robert wasn't... Well, because, of course, in France, you see, you have Saint Nicolas, which is on the 6th of...
The last day of Christmas.
Well, no, it's...
6th of January.
No, the other end.
6th of December.
Saint Nicolas, yeah. And he's the one who gives presents, you see. It's different.
So you lived in France for a while?
No, but Robert was French, you see. But he didn't really... He wasn't very Christmassy. No, we had different people came. So with my granny, yes, she was the sort of hub of the thing. So we used to have different aunts, and people used to come and stay, which was always very nice. And she had a wonderful housekeeper called, Granny had a wonderful housekeeper called May, who was about that high. And she used to make lovely things for us, just out of bits of paper, and I don't know, she was very gifted. And a brilliant cook, which Granny had taught her how to cook things. So, and then we used to have, my parents, we had often we had a turkey or something, or a biggish bird. But on New Year's Day, which wasn't a bank holiday at all, was it? Only recently did it become a bank holiday. And so we always used to go around to Granny, and we had a chicken, which was exciting, which I don't think you have that very much now.
No.
You know, and people just have chickens. It's just part of the everyday routine. But it was very exciting, and I used to love getting the wishbone. And then you had to pull the wishbone.
With someone, with your little finger.
With your little fingers, that's right.
Yeah. Here we are. Shall I finish there then?
Yeah, please finish. Peter, you're good in